What happens is in 1957, the Russians put the first satellite in space. They beat America. And they put Sputnik 1 into space, okay?
Okay.
And that literally scared the living fuck out of America. And the reason why that scared the fuck out of America, Albert, you got to know all the context here, the history, is that in the 40s, Russia, the USSR, developed nuclear weapons just like America did. So now, the Russians have like these ballistic missiles, right? These long-range missiles that can go into orbit and actually attack America. And the thing is that because America doesn't have any satellites, they don't have any of this shit made yet, they have no way to defend against it. So now America is looking like, oh fuck, we can just get fucked up, and we're scared. So the space race begins. This is the Cold War. And what's really crazy is, have you ever watched Dr. Strangelove? That's another Stanley Kubrick movie.
I've seen parts of it, but I kind of know a little bit of what you're talking about.
So in that movie,
just so you know.
So in that movie, in Dr. Strangelove, right, they talk about just this, right? That there's an attack coming from Russia, right? They think, or whatever, and so America has to strike. So America developed. So in response to this satellite that was put into space and it freaked America out, what did we do? We developed this program called MAD. And MAD stood for Mutually Assured Destruction. This is the premise of Dr. Strangelove. So what mutually assured destruction is that, hey, if Russia decides to nuke us, well, we're going to send all of our fucking nukes to them. So they use this thing called NORAD or whatever to like an early warning system, right? They had like 20 minutes or something like that to fire the nukes. So basically it was this thing saying, hey, Russia, if you fucking bomb us, we'll bomb you, we'll end this whole planet. That was the fucking negotiation, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is the Cold War, man. This is what's going on. And this was developed by the American military with fucking money that we were using during the Cold War, during all the space age shit, right? And let's see. By our top scientists, by the way. In what year? 1973? There you go. And it was being engineered throughout the 60s, during the whole going to the moon thing, all that shit. So all this was, and you know what makes GPS work, Albert? A network of satellites, which was originally 24 satellites. And you know what put those fucking satellites into space? Rockets. And you know what paid for the rockets? NASA. This is all connected, man. And if it's not, this isn't even fucking conspiracy. This is just fucking look it up. Fact.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in what you're talking about right now, and I don't even know much about this conspiracy at all.
It's not a conspiracy. Google GPS.
That said that aliens gave the government that technology, GPS.
Why?
I don't know.
So that's fucking ridiculous, man.
That's just something I heard. Anyway,
bro, you know what that is?
Point.
That's just.
Jonathan, we're getting way off topic here. I don't care. This is way off topic.
No, this is not way off topic, because what I'm trying to tell you, Albert, is this is my argument to why none of that shit was fake. They do go to space. They have done this shit. And the excuse, the thing that they do, it's always been military driven, okay? The military, like I said, before the creation of NASA, right, was running the show. In fact, dude, if you want to talk about, it's not even conspiracy, it was actually a declassified document by the government, declassified in 2014, called Project Horizon, right? It's not conspiracy, declassified. It's really fucking funny. You want to talk about top scientists? There was this German Nazi scientist who was like running NASA, who was involved with this Operation Paperclip. And I'm sure all the conspiracy people talk about some of this shit, but that's not even conspiracy. He was a fucking Nazi scientist. He developed rockets for the U.S. government and NASA. Now, Project Horizon was all about building a moon base. You know why? Because they wanted to launch nukes from the moon. That was the first reason they wanted to build a space station, because they wanted to launch nukes from space. Space has always been about the military, bro, and right now, it's no different. Why do you think they created Space Force?
I've heard that they created Space Force because they're because of aliens.
Do you think we can fuck up aliens?
I don't, bro. Don't ask me that question, Jonathan. I'm not the fucking government.
But just think about this, bro. We've talked about this on the show. If aliens came from across the fucking galaxy or wherever the fuck they came from.
Trump started Space Force.
No, and you know it's all about putting nukes and shit in space, man. It's always been that because whoever can do that shit, Albert, it's just like satellites. It's the same thing when I told you when we got scared by that first Russian satellite, right? It's always the same shit. It's all about military. It's all about who can run who has the biggest dick and can run the world. If you don't want to believe anything other than your own eyeballs, Albert, you can go get a telescope right now and you can look up on the moon and you can see the space car that they had, like the lunar lander and some of the shit that they left there on the fucking moon. Now tell me, how do you fake that?
Fake? Why don't we just Google it?
Well, I'm just telling you, we can get a telescope.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna. Why would I do all of that? Google photos right now of that. I've never even heard anyone talk about.
Bro,
that.
we're talking about you saying that you want what you trust. Do you trust your own eyes? Do you trust your own eyes to lie to you?
Does Photoshop exist? You're the one that talks about.
I'm not talking about Photoshop, motherfucker.
Bullshit anyway.
I'm not talking about Photoshop. I'm talking about a telescope. Do you know how a fucking telescope works? You stick your eye in, it magnifies it. You look at the shit.
Okay, so now I have to have a telescope.
Okay.
To prove you wrong, do you have a telescope?
I'm just saying you can look at a telescope. All right, here's what we'll do. Just to end this argument. I'm going to take your ass. There's a great observatory here in Houston. I'll pay for you to go because I've been there. There's a great observatory here in Houston. You and I will go. You will stick your eye in the fucking telescope. You can look at the shit on the moon, and you can tell me whether or not it's been fake or not.
I'm down. If there's a telescope, I can go walk in with you. That's going to show me something on the moon.
Yeah.
I'm down.